So with all due respect, this young lady says that there were giants because the Bible says so, and the Bible tells you how they got there. Now, if that's all the scholarship you need, that's fine by me. Go right on ahead. Not trying to convince you of anything. But for the rest of us, you have to understand why the Bible is not scholarship for historical facts. Now, it may name historical sites, historical cities, or certain events and cultures, like it named Egypt, but because it names Egypt does not mean that the Exodus actually happened, considering the fact that there's absolutely zero evidence of an Exodus ever occurring, of Hebrew slaves ever being in Egypt. As a matter of fact, if you look at the time frame to which Moses was supposedly leading the children of Israel out of Egypt, Egypt was actually in control of the entire Levant area, which would be all the way up to Turkey. So they would have left Egypt to go into more Egypt. That doesn't make sense, does it? No, it doesn't. You see, if you use the Bible as a historical document, then you also have to say that Leviathans existed. This is giant sea monsters, that they existed. You also have to accept the fact and say that the earth is only 6,000 years old. And even though carbon dating cannot date back millions of years, what it can date back is between 12 to 14,000 years, because the half-life of a carbon is 6,000, 6,500 years. So when something that was carbon-based dies, and it has a half-life of carbon left in it through degradation, then that means that it's at least 6,500 years old. But it's going to be even longer if it's only a half-life, and that means that it's 12 to 14,000 years old. So you can't necessarily accept this as a historical document that proves as fact. Now, where do giants come from? All different cultures talk about giants, and all different cultures talk about how giants came in different ways. They all didn't come through the Nephilim coming down and having sex, angels having sex with humans. Although the Greeks would support that, but the Greeks were in the same area as the Levant. So of course theirs is going to be similar. But when you look at other areas, like in Africa, southern Africa, giants were on the earth simply because of the size of people at that time, and then something was put into the water, according to some of the traditional beliefs, that caused man to be dumbed down and to shrink in size. So is it that? And in the Mesoamerican, something was sprayed in the air to create the same situation. Does that mean that that's how it happened? That's where giants came from? It doesn't.